Hello, my name is Josh and I'm a watchaholic. Welcome to Horology Insanity. What is up, my watch friends? So check this out. What I wanted to do was do a couple of comparisons. And if you know me well, you know that I love G-Shock squares. And in that, I love these metal G-Shock squares. But anyway, what we've got is this. And I wanted to do a comparison because one of the other things, again, if you know me well, you'll know that I love the AliExpress metal kits. Here we go. And so what I want to do is I want to set this down just for a second. I want to set this one here and oh, look at that. I've got another one. Let's set that one there. And I want to just take a second and have fun with this. And I know I'm a terrible singer. I've debuted my singing career on the channel one time before in my Helios rabbit hole video. So if you haven't seen that one, we'll put a link to that right here. But here what I want to do is I want to reminisce to when I was a kid, and I want to remember Sesame Street. There was a song that they would often play. I'm going to sing it to you now because when I look at these things and when I do all these comparisons, and y'all know that I do this all the time, right? So look at this. Check out my other videos. I've got the gold Casio, and then I've got the gold AliExpress kit, right? And I want to compare them, and I want to look at pros and cons, and I want to think through, what do I want my hobby to be? What do I want my collection? What do I want to tinker with and play with and mod? But anyway, here we've got these, and that song goes off in my head. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not the same. And you'll notice that it's the one in the middle. So the one in the middle is the actual Casio that my buddy is lending me in because he's awesome and generous and kind. And so there's that one. But what I want to do is say, okay, well, I can't get my hands on one of these, at least not without paying a crazy premium that I'm not going to do. And I've offered to buy this one from my buddy. And he said, no. He said, nope. It's a keeper. And so I said, okay. And so I said, well, let's go next best route. Let's get the AliExpress kit. Now, here's what you're going to find when you go to AliExpress. There are a bunch of people on AliExpress who make these kits. And I have found, and I'm not sponsored by these folks, I'm not getting paid for this. I did not get these for free. I paid my money for these. And if you're familiar with AliExpress, I waited the 6 to 18,000 weeks that it takes to actually receive something from them, right? But I paid for these, I waited, and I got them in, and then I started tinkering with them. SQP, or you'll see them on there, it's like SQP Professional, and then MFG. These are the two manufacturers that I have had the most success with. Now, I should be honest with you, I usually lean towards SQP. So when I go to look for a kit, I tend to go first to SQP, and if they have it, I buy it from them, and I trust them. I've had good luck with them. Again, aside from the standard, you gotta wait forever to get it in shipping. It's the same thing with Marinome. If you bought a Vostok from Marinome and it ships from Russia, it's gonna take forever to get to you. And this is the same with these things. But I've had good luck with SQP. I've had the best luck with SQP. Now, I know some folks who have gotten kits that weren't from SQP nor from MFG, and they've had fitment problems. And so I would say just be mindful of that. I've heard of some people, and they may have actually gotten to one of these two and still have fitment issues. I'm not sure about that, but I've heard where people have had to like sand down the end links to be able to get it to go in, or fidget with something to get it to fit. I've not experienced that. The reason that I got both of these was because I wanted to look for the one that would be most like this Patina Metal G. I wanted whatever would be the equivalent of this. The replica world will often sit here and tell you about 1-to-1. It's a 1-to-1, meaning it's an exact replica, every detail. And so I was like, well, okay, let's see. Usually these kits are kind of like 1-to-1 replicas, right? They're almost exactly identical. And so I said, well, let me see if I can find them on one of these. Now, here's what I found, though. SQP and MFG had different names for these. One of these folks called theirs retro black, and one of them called it retro silver. Now, when you look at these, both on camera and in person, they're identical. They're identical. Part of me wonders if the people making SQP and MFG are coming out of the same factory and off the same lines. I don't know. Part of me wonders sometimes if the folks making those are making the Casios. I don't know. The SQP was the retro silver one, and I didn't want retro silver because I wanted it to look black. Like this metal one is black, right? When I can put this next to each other, it especially this bezel, like you can almost see it on camera. The bezel is almost blacker than the bracelet. See, it's darker. Okay, and so and that disparity in color is kind of noticeable on the wrist, but not as much as I think you're seeing it like when I do that under my studio lights. And I think it's also less on this side than it is on the 6 o'clock side. But anyway, one thing I can do real quick, compare the class. That's another where these are different. This one is straight black, and this one they continued the metal texture. So that actually might be a +1. I prefer this class, the way that they continued that metal texture on that. So, but I wanted black, right? I wanted retro black or patina black. And so when I saw SQP, who is usually who I would go to first for these things, and they listed it as retro silver. And I was like, man, if I order this to compare it to the standard one, let me just set that right there. And it turns out that this one from SQP is legit silver, I'm going to be not happy. I'm going to be not happy because I want black. And so what I did was I said, well, let me use this as an opportunity to not just compare the AliExpress kit to the real Casio, but let me also compare SQP to MFG. So what I did was I went to the MFG store on AliExpress. They listed theirs as retro black, and I said, order both of them. Then let's wait about 2 months, and we'll get them in the mail. And you'll see, quick rundown, the synopsis. The ones from MFG and the one from SQP are exactly the same. Now, I put the exact same module into both of these just because I happen to have 2 of them, and they were both black, which is kind of what the whole aesthetic of the black patina watch is, just black. And so you can see here, these are identical. And the fitment, when I put these together, when I resized them, when I messed with them as I've been wearing them, they are exactly the same. Now, here's the thing I'll say. Even though those are exactly the same, these 2 are not the same. And so I don't know if there's another manufacturer out there who's making one that actually is a 1-to-1 replica or comparison or homage, whatever you want to call it, to this. But it's not MFG and it's not SQP. The retro black and the retro silver are close. But let me zoom in on this and let me show you. You can see that they were going for the same kind of look on the watch, and they did a good job. Let me pull up the standard Casio, right? You see how it's got that texture to it, all those little wear marks, or as I mentioned, the memory marks, right? And you see that wear pattern. They really did a good job of mimicking that. So however they did that, I don't know that process. They did a good job with it, but here's the problem. The problem is the MFG, let me zoom out. The MFG and the SQP kits are, I want to say 2 to 3 shades lighter than the black of the actual Casio. And I think you can see that. Tell me, can you see that in the video? I hope it's coming across. When I hold these up, right? And when you wear them on the wrist, now I will say, if I never saw this Casio, then I would never know that this one isn't an exact match. And I would probably have gotten this and loved it. And in fact, when I send this one back to my buddy to go to the home that it belongs until he offers to sell it to me one day, I'm going to wear this and I'm going to enjoy it. right? That's the weird thing about this. Sometimes I joke, right? I use a little like analogy. If you eat flank steak and that's all you've ever eaten, especially compared to if all you've ever eaten is like a salad, ugh, then you're gonna think flank steak is awesome. And this is a perfectly good flank steak. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I enjoy flank steak from time to time, right? There's nothing wrong with flank steak, but it's not a filet mignon. It's just not. And when you get a bite of filet mignon, you sit there and go, oh wow, that kind of melts in my mouth. And that same kind of feeling of this is like, oh wow, this, and the module, the 3459 module is amazing. And you go, wow, I like that. And so, but as of right now, filet mignon is out of stock. You can't get this. I've got a friend let me borrow it, but you can't get it. So, and I don't want to call this a flank steak. Call this a top sirloin. That's what I would do it. It's a step up. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. If you have questions that I didn't cover in the video, please drop them down in the comment section below. I will try my best to keep up with those and to get you the answers that you need. But yeah, check this out. This Patina kit is legit. And if you can ever get your hands on one of these, I would say go for it. Yeah. All right. With that, we will end and wrap this one up. Until we talk again, my friends, please remember what really matters. And that's not watches. Keep the insanity sane. Now, I will say I have a couple of other kits that I bought like secondhand and from different people that have come in these boxes. I don't know who makes these. So there's no other marks, descriptors on them. There's nothing inside of the box that tells me who makes them. And so, but I have heard, I mentioned in the video, I've heard of people getting kits that are not from SQP and not from MFG and having fitment problems and having other kind of things, right, that lowered their experience. And I've had good luck with both of these, but I don't know who makes these. And I suspect that some of the folks that make these other ones or that come in different boxes might be those. So down in the comments below, chime in. Have you ordered and have you had problems with one of these kits? And if so, who made it? Who made it? SQP, MFG, somebody else? Does anybody know who these come from? Who is the maker of these? I don't know. They're the same label. They're two different boxes. This one was a bezel only. This is a bezel and band kit. Okay. The MFG and SQP ones, those are bezel and band kit boxes. So that's all the size they are. You'll notice that these are smaller, right, than this one. Okay. But, and then here's the smallest one just for the bezel. But where did you get yours from and what issues did you have? And if you didn't have issues, what was just your overall experience? Again, I've had nothing but success with SQP and MFG, and I've had good luck with these that I've gotten secondhand from people. So this is for a GA2100, and this was the raw titanium kit that came from somebody. So anyway, let me know about that. Just some B-roll. Throw that down below if you can, and let me know what you think. With that, peace out.